Hello, my Lit Lab people. So, as we begin a new school year in our time together, working on your reading skills and building your independent reading life, I think it's really important we make sure it's clear why developing an independent reading life is so important. So, there are lots of reasons that reading on your own is very beneficial for you. So, one reason is reading develops our thinking skills naturally. So, as we're reading a text and thinking it through or questioning it, we are naturally developing critical thinking skills for ourselves. The more you read independently as a habit, the more it also naturally increases your confidence and competence as a reader. And so when you're in a class and you're looking at a nonfiction or fiction text, the goal is that you feel more confident about strategies to use to access those texts. And you feel competent, like you know how to attack and approach a text to be able to engage with classwork and with reading on your own. Independent reading also expands our understanding to consider multiple points of view. In a time when anti-racism is extremely important, it's really important that we as readers develop our ability to empathize and look at things from different points of view. And when I say things, I mean issues in the world and issues we see in our books that characters show us that have to do with real life experiences. Independent reading builds background knowledge. It connects us to global issues that give us a bigger picture of the world around us. And one of the things I love most about independent reading is it reminds us of a shared experience we have with one another, and it helps connect us to each other and better understand each other, even if the point of view in a story or a text is different from our own. The research shows us that when we have strong independent reading lives, we are building our reading stamina, which is the length of time we're able to stick with a book, and our reading volume. So it's the pace or rate at which we're able to complete books and reading. That those two factors, stamina and volume, help us build comprehension. They help us understand what we're reading and engage with our reading more deeply. Research also tells us that comprehension and engagement, for many of us, lead to reading motivation and reading bliss. Sometimes when we understand and engage more deeply, we end up enjoying what we're reading so much more that we don't want to put our books down or we don't want to put the text down. We want to just keep reading about that topic. That's one of my goals with you in Lit Lab, is to develop your interest and know which topics really bring you to that reading bliss place. So, that's also the reason that we practice independent reading with Just Right Books. And it's super important to me that we are cognizant of what it takes to find a just right book so you can do it on your own. And so it can help you fine tune your fluency, areas of your expression, when you read something aloud. And so that way you can naturally build and target comprehension skills to feel more competent and confident. Just Right books have two main factors in them. They are of high interest to you and only you. It doesn't matter if someone else likes it. It matters that you enjoy it. The other piece is that you need the reading level of a book to be about where you're reading. And we're going to do assessments and diagnostics together to tell us what your reading level is. And your reading level is going to change in our time together. And it's hopefully going to grow exponentially because of the work you do with me and the work you do in your classes. So, keeping a few things in mind, I think inspiration is one of the most helpful motivators we have to keep us engaged in work that can sometimes feel difficult to us. So we want to really try to be the change that we want to see in the world. So remember, our enthusiasm is contagious. When we start doing book talks about what we're reading, our goal is to build a reading community with each other and to get each other excited about what we've read and share our ideas and see if it interests other people and they might want to pick up the same book or a similar book. We really want to talk about books with each other, whether it be here in Lit Lab or outside of class. You're going to see lots of modeling when I give you strategies and tools. I'm going to make sure I walk you through them and give you step-by-steps for how to approach different kinds of readings with strategies. And I want you to look at things like notice when you're reading a cereal box or a street sign or a magazine. What kind of reading skills are you using? What questions come up when you read those things? Those are really basic things in life where we need reading skills to be able to understand and access what the material is presenting to us. I also want us to consider different genres. It's really exciting to look at different kinds of topics and different kinds of reading and try to expand our horizons and try a genre that we might not think we like, but we could grow to love. We also want to welcome audio books and audio applications into our lives this year. So we're going to be using tools like Read and Write or Cami and other read aloud features to help us really engage with what we're reading and follow along with the print as we go. We can also use audiobooks or audio recordings like you'd hear on Audible or in other devices when you're reading your actual books too that we select for you. So, independent reading is a huge part of our work together. Thank you for listening, and I'm really looking forward to helping you find your first Just Right book this year.